Sai Ram. You're listening to Sai Soul 100, a weekly podcast series with soul, or stories of unconditional love, shared by devotees of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba in celebration of his 100th birthday. We invite you to listen in on these motivational stories of his constant loving presence in devotees' lives, offered at his lotus feet by the Sri Satya Sai International Organization USA Mid-Atlantic region. Welcome to Sai Soul 100.
Sairam, dear listeners, welcome to Sai Soul 100. Today's guest is Brother Yatish Merchant from Atlantic City, New Jersey. He'll be sharing his story of how Swami helped him develop surrender and faith, and also that Swami controls destiny. Brother Yatish, we're looking forward to hearing your story. Welcome to Sai Soul 100, and we are excited that you are able to share your story.
Absolutely. See, all of us come in touch with Swami at different stages of our life. I'll start with one experience that we had with Swami. I was doing residency in Atlantic City Hospital in internal medicine. And at that time, living in Atlantic area, that was back in 80s, early 80s. Not many Indians here, and there is one gentleman, Babu Bhai Patel. He's been Swami's devotee for many years. He invited me for the bhajans. So they were having Swami's bhajans on Thursdays at their home. So that was my first exposure. And after attending few bhajan sessions and then talking about Swami, who is he, and then they gave me the book on Swami and I read those. And then the curiosity led me to go to see Swami first time in 1990. And at that time, I go to India, have Swami's darshan for the first time, and the tears started flowing. And he came and looked at me, and he just stared at me and stood there. And I just kept on crying. And my son is asking me, Dad, why are you crying? And I said, I don't know why I'm crying. Yeah. So this is how it started with Swami. And then the one look and people change, and we hear about it all the time. And that's exactly what happened. Then onwards, I started going to Puttaparthi. Every time I would visit my parents, I would go there and I would have his darshan. In the beginning in 90s. Darshan were much less crowd, and I would go there at the odd times of the year. Led to starting medical camps in 95 in Puttaparthi. That was the first medical camp we started, and we did it in the tent. Along the way, Dr. Vardachari joined us, and that was one of the interviews with Swami with all the doctors. Vardachari is already 75 years old when he joined us. And the reason I'm telling you the story is a lot of people feel that how come I came to know Swami so late, as opposed to some people are born in Sai family and they've been with Swami right from the beginning, since birth. So this is where Dr. Vardachari asked Swami that, Swami, how come I came to know you when I'm 75?
Yeah.
I wish I had known you and be with you and enjoyed your love and the teaching and followed your guidelines and so on. But how come you got me here at the age of 75? And the Swami's one word answer was, your prapti. Your karma, the karma part I'm adding, but your prapti, the word prapti, that's all he said. And then of course, at that time, I didn't know what prapti was. So, of course, looking into that more and more, and then I learned that it's your Your karma, when you are ready, that's when you come to Swami. Swami is the one who's going to bring you there. And I'm sure other people have heard the story that somebody goes to see Swami, and for 1 month, Swami doesn't talk to him. And then after a month, Swami talks to him and says that, Swami, I've been here for a month. I wanted to talk to you. I waited so long. And Swami says, you waited for 1 month. I waited for your 1,000 lifetimes
Oh,
to get
wow.
you here.
Yes.
So one has to have a prapti to be here when Swami has taken birth on this planet. And we are so lucky to be here at that time. Even having the birth on the planet at the same time, that alone is fortunate enough. And then he calls some of them to be with him, close to him, work for him, and join his mission. The other topic that I want to talk about is faith. And
Yeah.
Swami taught me about the faith in God I learned from my son. My son is in the high school, and this is back in early 2000. And all medical camps, we are all jumping up and down, want to have interview with Swami. And Swami talked to me in the veranda and I said, Swami, can I bring children? I would like you to bless my children. So Swami says, they're not your children. I just gave them to you to raise them. But then he smiled and he says, why don't you bring them next month at the Christmas holidays when they have holiday in school? So I said, okay. So next month, I take both my sons to Puttaparthi at the Christmas time. And Swami also knows our date of departure. So he always calls on the last day for the interview. And this is what I have experienced all the time, that every time he would call, it's always on the last day. So he knows everybody's dates as to who's coming when and when they're going, because he's the one who's planned it.
Right.
So in the interview, he's talking to all four of us, my wife, Neelam, myself, Amit, and Kunal. And what do you do? As if he knows nothing, always, who are you? What do you do? What is your name? And everything. He goes through the normal ritual. And then he tells my son, Amit, I think he was in either 9th grade or 10th grade. And he says, you're going to be orthopedic surgeon. So Amit also joins medical camps when the schools were closed. In November, he doesn't come, but he always came for July camp, and that would be the Guru Purnima camp. If the Easter and the Shivratri fell together, then he would join the Shivratri camps also. So whenever he joined the camps, he always worked in the orthopedic department. Right from the beginning, from the school, he enjoyed that part. And then Swami said that you're going to be orthopedic surgeon. So he was so happy to hear that. Now, where is the faith part here?
Right.
He joins the medical school, finishes medical school. Then I said that, well, you want to be orthopedic surgeon, then join the program, surgical program, where they have orthopedic residencies. Just the common sense. As a doctor father, I'm advising him what program to go for the surgical rotations and so on. So picked the hospital and applied for the residency. He got the residency. And before you go into orthopedic, you have to do 1-year rotating surgery program. So he started doing that. And then he impressed the orthopedic director enough. And that hospital had only one position. So he impressed him enough, and the orthopedic director calls him that, okay, next year when you finish your 1-year rotation, I will give you the position. I'm very happy the way you work, and I know you have interest, and I can see that you'll be a good orthopedic surgeon from all the techniques that you've shown me. So he's again very happy that, okay, Swami, what Swami said is going to happen. And when the time comes for the contract, the director gave position to another person, and did not give it to Amit. So Amit goes and talks to him, and the guy says, well, I had difficult choice. I had to select between you two and this and that. And then he finds out that other kid's father donated some $250,000 to the hospital. And in return, he got the position for his son. Now, of course, director wouldn't say those words, but he said, I had a tough decision to make and so on. So Amit is, of course, not happy. So this is happening sometime in March and April, that area. So I tell Amit, what do you want to do? And I'm sure a lot of people know Sri Akela,
Yes.
who is a service coordinator. His father is Chandrasekhar Akela. Chandrasekhar is very close friends with me. So I asked him, he's a surgeon, so he advised that do the hand surgery. It is very similar to, it's still surgery and you'll enjoy the orthopedic aspect of it. Hand surgery program is also very good and so on. So
Did you say hand surgeon?
Yeah, hand surgery, just the nothing else.
Yes.
And it's a 5 years program. So he helped arrange for the interview. Amit goes for the interview. And this director says that, okay, I can give you the position, but you have to be with me for 5 years. You cannot cut short and you cannot get out for anything else. You have to complete 5 years. And it had some financial implications to the program. But Amit is so honest and he says, no, I can join you, but I'll keep on trying to get orthopedics. If I get it, I will go. The guy says, if you are telling me like this, I cannot give you this position. He says, that is your choice, but I cannot hide from you. That is what I will be doing. So he doesn't get the hand program. The guy said, I won't give you then. I said, okay, that's your choice. So Amit comes home. So of course, I'm so upset. I said, why did you have to tell him that? Dad, how can you not tell him? I cannot hide. Hiding is also not telling the truth and so on. So those things are very unique in Amit. So something, I grew up in Bombay, and Bombay driving and Bombay living is like you are trained to survive in this world, I would say.
Yeah.
So I was not happy. And Chandrasekhar says, why you would have loved it so much that you would have completed 5 years and blah, blah, blah. So Amit says, no. And Swami told me I'm going to get orthopedic program. I will be orthopedic surgeon. And when Swami says, I'm not worried about it. So Amit, what are you going to do for the year? You have to do something. You can't just sit at home. Okay, Dad, it's okay. I can sit at home. My director told me I'll give it to you next year, because he was feeling bad that he had promised Amit that I will take you. And then he says that he gave the position to somebody else. So the director said, I promise you next year, I'll give it to you. So Amit was willing to stay at home. And he says, I'll apply for something else, but I'm not going to hide or lie to any director. I'll tell them I'm coming only for the 1 year. So then Neelam and I are struggling, praying to Swami, what are we going to do here for Amit? Because he's, at that time I told him he's stubborn.
Yeah.
So we both take a flight to go to Parthi. and to talk to Swami. And every day, morning, afternoon, sitting for the darshan. Swami comes. I'm sure he knows we are sitting there, but he won't even come close. And he would just take a turn and walk away. Days go by, week go by, and I said, we're not going until Swami talks to us. And he wouldn't talk to us. Wow. And so we just sat there every day, waiting. One day at about 3 a.m., which is 5 p.m., about between 5 and 5:30 time, American time, New York time, which corresponds to, I think, 3:30, 3:45, somewhere around there. So Amit call comes, and I pick up, I see caller ID, and I say, okay, I'm just calling. So I picked up the phone and then, hi, Amit, what's happening? I'm half asleep. And then I don't hear anything. So I'm looking at it. Is it connected? It is connected. So I keep saying, Amit, I can't hear you. Are you there? And suddenly I hear a sobbing sound. And he's crying on the other end. So I got more scared and nervous. Yeah. I said, what is happening? Why are you crying? And then he got together and he just say thank you to Swami. Got the orthopedic position. And I said, what happened? And then he got it together and he says that our program had applied for extra position in orthopedic. They had won, and they had so many cases, so many surgeries. So when you have, there are certain criteria. If you have so many patients and surgeries, orthopedic services, then they can apply for more position. And they approved the second position that year, and director immediately called him. And Amit goes there at 5 o'clock and walks out after signing the contract. And first thing he does is he calls me.
Oh my goodness.
And the best part is, now we go for darshan. Now I have the letter ready and everything to tell Swami and give it to Swami. Even if he doesn't talk, I will just give him the letter. And Swami comes straight to me and tells me, Mil gaya. If you understand Hindi, Mil gaya means, did he get it?
Oh, wow.
And I said, yes, Swami, he got it. Swami always talk to me in Hindi. So Swami knows what's happening. He's testing me and also testing Amit. But Amit passed the test much better than I passed the test. I didn't pass it, actually. I was pushing him for hand surgery and other programs and everything, because all I wanted is my son to be a doctor and not sit at home and not having strong faith like he had. That Swami said 10 years ago that I'll be orthopedic surgeon, and he became one. So that was a very touching, and ever since then, my faith became so strong, much stronger than what it was before.
And it's through your son, Amit, how he demonstrated the faith, non-shakable faith, that Swami said, I will be an orthopedic surgeon, right? And he held on to that. And Swami tested him. Swami tested you as well. But I think outcome is that strong faith that has come as a result of it.
Exactly.
And yes, with that, we would like to thank you, Brother Yatish, for being with us today and for sharing this beautiful story of how your faith was developed through this particular experience. Dear listeners, thank you for listening to Sai Soul 100 with Dr. Yatish Merchant. I'm Prabha Swaminathan. Until next time, Jai Sai Ram.